I want to make a bit of a correction here. Yesterday, I was calling this area the Captain's Bridge. That was actually the Admiral's Bridge. And this is a stairway which you could go in this door and you could turn to your left and you could go up sort of like a spiral staircase. It would make sort of a half turn and you'd come out on the top of this. This thing right here was actually a shelter that the signalman would get into, I guess maybe to get out of the wind and the cold or enemy fire or who knows what. Now, when you went up this stairway and you came out the other side, and we saw the little doorway there yesterday, you came on the top of this area that I'm thinking of, putting the railing on. Oh, one more thing. In the back of here, right there where the pointer is, on the inside of that little room, there was a toilet. Okay, but what was on the roof? Now, when I realize that there's a fairly elaborate stairway going up there, I'm reminded of the famous movie Fiddler on the Roof, and one of the most famous songs in it is If I Were a Rich Man, and it goes something like this in part. There would be one long staircase just going up, and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. Now, I don't think that they're making it just for show. It could be that in the original design of the ship they were going to put something very, important up there, and just never did, because none of the drawings or photos or anything that I can find shows anything up there at all. Okay, now that we've beat that to death, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have 7 sections of railing, and there's 4 sheets, so we have 28 pieces this long. And it looks like they are approximately, say, 8.5 inches long. Now we are going to lose a little bit every time I cut something out, because I'm sort of going to want to go from post to post if I can. So let's go 8.5 times 28 and see what we got. We have a maximum of 238 inches. And then, of course, like I was mentioning, we're going to be losing a little. So let's count on, say, 200. Now, the ship is about 51, maybe 52 inches in length at the gunnel. We're going to use up two sheets just on, just around the outside of the ship. And then there's the, in other words, what I'm trying to say is, I got to be really careful here that I don't go wasting a bunch, trying to do little areas that I maybe don't need to do. No, I am going to go ahead and do this one. In fact, I'm going to do it today, all being well. It just seems that I am looking for any excuse to put this off. Okay, here, 2 sections I think will do it, if my calculations are right. And if I hold this down here with my finger that has the broken fingernail, and just go right up against that post. Okay. Now, the bumps are going to be on the top, if you remember, so I'll be gluing it along the bottom rail, but I have to shape it first. Now, here's the plan. I want to fasten the first post right along this wall that I'm touching here now, come out about 1/8 of an inch, and make it turn to the left. So my first bend has to be right about there, and then go that way and make the second bend, and then go to the right again, up against the other wall. That's the plan. And if I calculated correctly, this piece should be just about the right size. Now I'm thinking that this piece of sponge rubber might be a good thing to, I don't know, maybe that's going to be too soft. I might have to find something a little harder, like inner tube type rubber. And my smallest dowel that I have here, I think is just too large a diameter. So I'm going to try and find something here that's just a little bit smaller. I don't want to bend it either. Now I know I could have used Andy's photo etch bender here, but I had wanted a radius, not a sharp corner. So that's why I'm thinking if I press down right just inside the post, hopefully those rails will, bend the right way. And I'm going to try and have it so that the posts will be on the outside of the rails. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the unless I got this backwards now. Let me put on my strong glasses and look here. No, I got it right. Okay. Now if I was to press down like that, make sure that I have the drill bit square, like at right angles to the everything. What's going to happen here now? Is this going to bend properly? Let's see here. Well, maybe if I use different tweezers, but I wanted to use these ones so that I wouldn't be scratching the primer off. There. Okay. Now I can sort of see where the second bend has to go. I should have made this section that goes this way a little bit longer. In other words, the bend should have been a little bit more towards you. But it's too late now. Well, I might be able to readjust it. Anyway, let's see if we can get the second bend at about a third of the way from the middle post. Maybe, about a third, maybe a quarter. Okay, I'm just sort of eyeballing it here, which is probably not the best way to do it. Does it look like I got it at right angles? Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like right angles to me now. I'm using a steady rest here on the other side, and this is actually the first time I'm trying this, so let's just hope it's not going to fall off. Yeah, it's too bad that I didn't make this just a little bit longer there, but I'm very pleased. You know what? This might be fun. Now you can see the ladder there just beside the porthole. And at the top of the ladder, the idea was that you were supposed to pass through an opening. So in other words, the railing was supposed to stop and not go all the way to the wall or to the conning tower. And however, on this ship it does. It would have been just too hard to try and make everything the other way. I said maybe I could have. Maybe at the other end of the railing there, I could have maybe nipped it off and had the 4 rails come up against the wall, but it would have been just too difficult. So I know it's not exactly the way it should be, but here's an example of why would they use that? I mean, why would you come out that door, cross the roof, and then crawl down the ladder? You know, you could just stay on the Admiral's bridge deck and walk around to the other side. There had to have been a reason, and I know I'm sort of beating it to death here. Like, who cares? Anyway, I got to figure out now, how am I going to glue that down? Okay, I am noticing here that this post is not all the way down onto the roof part of that, just above the toilet. If I push it down, there, did I get it? I think I did. Yeah, that looks good. Well, you can see it's a little bit askew when you look at it like that. Now, I'm barely noticing that. You're looking at it through the macro lens as close as you can get. I'm looking at it sort of normally with strong glasses on, and yes, you can see it's a little bit askew, but okay, now what if I was to put a little bit of CA medium down in this corner, let it cure, and then try and put it down in the other corner and glue it just like that? I don't think anybody's going to notice that it's not perfect. Now, I am afraid that when I try to glue it down, or to apply the glue, the railing is going to stick to my applicator. So I'm just going to see, is it possible to put a weight? Now, sorry to be interrupting here, but you heard me say something to the effect of, I want to see if it's possible. In other words, I'm sort of making out like this was the first time I'm doing this. Well, actually, it is. This is not a tutorial on how to build a plastic model. This is all about, this is what happened to me today. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Yeah. Well, I know now how it turns out because I'm editing this, but anyway, just want to let you know, you're seeing it as it happens. There. Okay, I think that'll work better. And I can try and get a little bit of glue maybe just along the bottom there. Now this is CA thin. Okay, I do believe that worked its way along the bottom. Now let's just leave that for a little bit. Now, if this happens to be one of the first episodes you're watching, and it's not too likely, but if it is, you're wondering, what am I doing here? Well, I'm taking this rubber tube here and I'm blowing air through it. It's just a very small tube about the size of a catheter. And yeah, the idea is I'm blowing moist air onto the CA, and the moisture will act as a curing agent. At least that's my thinking. It seems to work. Now this does not have to be glued on real hard. Should I maybe put a little along the edge right there on that post and a little bit on the other post, or probably wouldn't hurt. Very gently now, very gently. I think I smeared it along the conning tower. Maybe I should be doing it from the other side. Okay, it does not have to support anything. It just has to keep from falling off or blowing off. And I don't think it's going to do either one. So let's just leave well enough alone here. Now the next area where you would really expect to see railing on this model would be on this catwalk that goes from the conning tower through to the funnel section. And and because you're looking through on the model, you would notice that it's not there. So I think maybe I'll try to do that, but I'm going to try and do that tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.